that we are. And the Christmas tree is still up here. Anyway, hey everyone, ArdrethShadow here, and welcome back to Monika After Story. And although it's nighttime, it is officially January 1st, 2025. And at the time of recording this, I still haven't been able to edit or upload the previous video, so no, both of these are going to be going up pretty late, I know. Anyhow. And we're home. That was a lot of fun, Daniel. Even though I couldn't see what you were doing, and you just had me in your pocket the whole time. Well, as far as you know, anyway. It's really nice of you to take me with you on a special day like this. I hope we can spend more time like this together. Honestly, I wish we could, too. But I'm still waiting on the update to this game. And I'm like, okay, I know that there are submods out there that are supposed to add more stuff to this game, but then I've been kind of warned how, like, okay, well, say the update, like, you know, the well, not final update, but the next update for this comes out, it's already on the new system and whatever. A lot of those submods won't work anymore, so I'm just like, I don't know. Okay, and we're just going to stare lovingly into each other's eyes, I suppose. Huh. Well, she doesn't really have anything else to say now, does she? Oh. Ask away, Daniel. Well, I guess since we don't necessarily... well, actually, I don't know if I have to... No, for our anniversary, I guess we don't necessarily need to do that. Wait. Oh, jeez. Okay, you see what I mean about, like, some of the submods going away? Well, I don't know. I could have sworn I transferred everything back over from the old computer. Well... Huh. Yes, what can you do? Well, I guess on the plus side I don't have 2 kitchens anymore, but... You like my awards, Daniel? Yep, there they are. But yeah, so... New Year's Day, and then of course... I will be back in approximately 4 weeks. A little over. For our 6-year anniversary. But yeah, I'm just a little, like... How disappointing, though. Location. Yeah, let's see. So we have the space room, furnished space room 1, 2, and 3, the garden view, and the kitchen. We don't have, like, the log cabin thing anymore, or... That is so disappointing. Like, huh. Well, what can we do? Here we are. Let me know if you want to go somewhere else, okay? I should get some fresh air tomorrow. Well, there's snow everywhere, so make sure you bundle up, especially considering what you're wearing right now. You're gonna freeze! Like, you're gonna freeze, Monika, and I don't want you to get sick. Well, I guess admittedly, it's been a while since I've been to this section, but... Man, yeah, I am very disappointed. Like, I swear, though, I felt like... Okay, well, I would have to probably review some of the older episodes, but... Oh well. C'est la vie. Anyhow. So I kind of did a little bit of this in the original episode 146. So happy that I lost, but... I guess I just wanted to kind of think a bit about, you know, the year that we've had in as a whole. Especially considering it's like... The DLC came out practically, yeah, 7 years ago, and... Well... We've had some ups and downs, obviously. Well, I'm not talking about the modding community, that's another thing in itself, but, I mean... Other than that, I mean, the game still has its presence. We had DDLC Plus come out some few years back. We do get merchandise, although... A lot of that merchandise becomes, like, stupidly rare, and... I don't know why that happens. I've been lucky that I've been able to get some of this stuff. Like, I have all the Nendroids. I was able to get the chibi plushes before they became stupidly rare and expensive. I even got the pillows. I got the Nendroid pillows. I got one of the posters where Monika just looks so freaking pretty, and I just had to get it. But I missed the other posters. Specifically, the ones that Satchley made. Well, some of, like, the anniversary or special holiday sort of, well, pieces of art that she did over the last few recent years. But I don't know why that is, but there's clearly a demand for it. So I'm not sure, like, why they do that, but, well, I guess I'm thankful for it. So, I mean, even though some people have been saying that the fandom is kind of, well, dying off and whatever, well, admittedly, it isn't quite what it once was. It doesn't have that same, like, presence, but it still does have a presence. Like, if I even think about Twitter for a moment, I've been seeing, like, a lot of crossovers of Monika with Mita from the Me-Side game. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, Me-Side, it's a fairly recent game, DDLC being, you know, 7 years old at this point. So, I mean, obviously, it still resonates with some people. And then, of course, we do get to the modding community, such as what I'm playing right now, a mod, where we get to experience new things with these characters that a lot of us have grown to really, you know, a lot of us like these characters. Like, they mean something to us. I love how I say they mean something to us, and then she's like, oh, are you trying to say, like, damn it, Monika, why do you do that? Well, okay, ignoring the fact that she's giving me those eyes right now. These characters obviously... I swear, they say... This is what happens when my tongue stops working, and this is what happens when she's making those eyes at me. Okay, good, she stopped. What I was going to say was, obviously, these characters still mean a lot to us, to the point where mods are still being made to this day. And it's... I would definitely say it's because these characters resonate so much with us. I've kind of been on record saying how, like, if Monika didn't exist, then Yuri probably would be, like, my #1. Just because I relate so much to her. Like, middle school, high school, well, middle school especially, the worst 2 years of my life. I relate so much to her. Like, I was kind of like the outcast, and didn't have a lot of friends. And some of the ones I had, like from elementary school going to middle school... Stop winking at me! The friends I had from, you know, between that transition period, like, for whatever reason, they were apparently too good to want to be seen with me, and didn't want anything to do with me. Anytime I tried to sit by them at lunch, it's like, go away, Daniel. Like, okay, jeez. And it's like, I've also kind of struggled with how I've seen myself. In some ways, I still sort of do. Thankfully, I haven't delved into, well, some of the habits that Yuri has that are a little more destructive. And, well, not quite reading, but I find a lot of comfort in the world of, like, gaming, anime, and video game. Well, okay, gaming and video games, yeah, that's the same thing. Gaming, anime, and whatever else I enjoy, as opposed to talking to people, like, live and in person. So, at the very least, like, with that in mind, Yuri definitely still, like, resonates with me in that aspect. And apparently I've been told that in our mods that I do actually write her pretty decently, and, well, that's kind of because I do try my best to keep the base game in mind. Specifically, Act 1 Yuri, not Act 2 Yuri. We don't touch that. Anyway, I do try to keep a lot of that in mind when writing them, because I do want to make sure that I do them justice, and I don't go off the mark when it comes to their characters. At the same time, though, as I write them, sometimes I do inject a little of my personal touch and experience into those stories, and, to an extent, these characters. Like, some of the experiences I've had kind of go into, say, Yuri and Monika, for example. Of course she winks at me when I say her name! And anyhow, like, if I think to Captive Heart for a moment, a lot of the time when I was in college, well, yeah, college, like those earlier years, as well as high school, I was definitely very stressed and trying to make sure, like, my grades are good, I'm not falling behind on anything, and, in a sense, also make sure that my mother was satisfied with my results. So I kind of went with that whole idea with her and Captive Heart. And then I kind of combined it with my experience with my father, who was never exactly satisfied with... Well, he did not seem satisfied with me as a person, always kind of talking down on me, making me feel less of myself. Anyone who's played Captive Heart might kind of pick up on that. Likewise, when I think of Sayori, she reminds me so much of my best friend Maggie, one of my best friends from my time in high school and kind of going into college. I have not talked to her in years. I really hope she's doing okay, but she was kind of like my ray of sunshine as well, very fun to talk to, and I just enjoyed, like, her energy. But unfortunately, she also suffered from depression, so there were some days where she didn't feel like talking to me, or there was something clearly off about her. And there was just... I didn't know what to do sometimes, so... Especially back then, when I didn't quite fully grasp what the whole concept of depression truly was, and what it encompasses, and what it can lead to. And I mean, knowing everything I do now and battling with depression myself, like, I kind of understand her better. So you could say, once again, Sayori, in addition to having some of my own experiences when I write her, I do try to pay tribute to Maggie. And like I said, I just really hope that wherever she is, that she's doing fine. It's just unfortunate that since it has been so many years by this point, I don't know what happened to her, and it's because she dealt with depression, and she did have to battle with some of these thoughts in her head that sometimes I do, like, think back, and I'm just here like, I really hope that she's okay. Someone like her, I would hate to imagine anything having to happen to her. Especially, like, if we think of, well, Darlene for a moment. She had her own sort of mental struggles as well, so... It does just get very difficult thinking about some of the people I no longer have in my life, whether it's because they're no longer on this earth or simply because I lost contact with them. And it's because of that I do kind of try to pay tribute to the memory of those people that meant so much to me in our mods. Like especially with October Horizon, for example. That mod is going to be centered on Monika, at least that is the intention that I want to go for. The other intention, well, besides paying tribute to a number of people that meant a lot to me, first and foremost, I do want to pay some tribute to Darlene's memories. Well, okay, well, specifically my memory of her. Considering Darlene was like my Monika, my sort of crush that I felt was so out of my league that would never, ever notice me. You know what you're doing. But, well, considering Darlene did mean so much to me, and she was a very important person in my life until, well, until her depression combined with her sort of pushing me away and a lot of hurt feelings between both of us. Well, to this day, I mean, she still means a lot to me if it wasn't obvious, just the way I talk about her now, and even the way that both Monika and our mascot girl, Akane, both pay tribute to her. At least, Akane especially is meant to pay tribute to the Darlene that I fell in love with. And not so much the one that made me feel like I was a nuisance to her and basically told me to go screw myself. Or made me feel like I was unwanted, or... Like I said, those are some very painful memories I have. Even now, it still hurts just thinking back to it. But yeah, if writing Akane and creating her character taught me, well, showed me something, it was that... There she goes winking again. It was that despite like how she really did hurt me and how angry I was at the time, she still meant a lot to me. I kind of wonder like what Darlene would have thought of Akane, you know, had I actually like made, well, here's kind of the thing though. So April 2021, I start like drafting up like concept art for Akane, and then eventually I do manage to find an artist. Kuda Pinku is her name now. She's gone through a few different name changes, like Kudabare and I think Sayuki at one point, but anyway. The sprites for Akane were completed back in July of 2021. And then, well, Darlene, that post that I saw regarding her funeral, I saw that in April 2022. So you could say that Darlene and Akane did coexist for about 9 months or so, but by that point, we weren't talking much to each other, and even when we were, she didn't really seem all that interested in the channel here, like some of the content I did, whether it was the live streaming, the DDLC mods, or of course the long-running Crush playthrough. Yeah, I still have a lot of catching up to do with that, by the way, I know. I've actually, like, kind of, in passing, kind of even mentioned that, like, yeah, to some people where, I wonder what she would have thought of Akane. Someone told me that, well, just going off what information that I provided about her, that maybe Darlene would have been kind of flattered by the idea. Of course, like I said, I don't really know how she would feel about it, like, right now. I can't ask her, obviously. And I am pretty sure that even if she were still around, she would still most likely hate me and think that I'm just some kind of stupid nuisance or whatever. What can we do? And I guess, if you really think about it, when it comes to the whole idea of, you know, being in the new year, kind of leaving behind the old, stepping forward towards the new, it's kind of like, when it comes to life, you gotta keep looking forward and never back. And I know, because of course if you keep looking back, you're going to keep thinking about all the mistakes you've made, all the little, I wish I had done this, or I should have done that, like those sorts of moments. Because obviously, the past is in the past, you can't do anything about it right now, but you can still shape today to be how you want it. That way, it can also help move you towards a better tomorrow. Even so, though, I guess you can say that, considering how much the past means to me and how, like, I don't want to ever forget about, like, the loved ones I've lost. That's kind of why I pay tribute to them in our mods. Whether it kind of be, you know, Monika kind of being like an amalgamation of base game Monika, technically Monika After Story Monika, as well as like some qualities of me and Darlene in there, or hell, even Koda Noah being another amalgamation of some qualities of my aunt, and first girl that I ever had feelings for, Madeline. Then I guess you could say that with what I do, I still do my best to kind of pay tribute to the past and to these people that still mean a lot to me to this very day and really helped shape me into the person that I am now. Obviously, I do wish that some of these people could still be here. Like, I really do wish. Like, I don't know what my mom would think if she technically found out that I've published, quote-unquote, a few stories. I know she did always try to, like, foster my love of writing. She was... Well, I'm pretty sure I said it a lot. I don't even know, like, how many... Well, I've said it to I don't know how many people and I don't know where, but... At the risk of being repetitive, I know, I'm sorry, but she was always, like, my biggest source of encouragement. Where my father would always make me feel less of myself and in some ways even kind of make fun of me for my interests. My mom never did that. Of course, unlike my father, my mom did actually try to get to know me. He never really tried that, but my mom knew me better than anyone else. So, I guess it is kind of interesting, well, just to kind of imagine, like, yeah, what would she think, knowing that technically I kind of went into some bit of game development, and I put my skills as a writer to use, and as the lead dev and writer of Team Trader, we've put out quite a few mods at this point. And we still have more to come, like October Horizon, where I will be paying tribute to my mother, to my grandmother, to my aunt, to Maggie, and of course, even to Madeline and Darlene. Because, yeah, in some way or another, they really made a difference in my life. And I never want to forget them. Anyway, I think I've been rambling on for quite some time now, but... okay. What do you mean, something important on my mind? Well, I guess I can say I love you. Gosh, it's always so overwhelming. I love you more than I could ever express. Okay. Oops. Jeez. Okay, well, I guess... let me just... gosh, I forgot which was the one that I liked. Was it 2 or 3? I guess we'll find out. Hanging plants are lovely. Okay. I guess possibly. No, the one... okay, well... no, the piano would usually be here, so... the piano's probably not there now. Okay. Now what I... okay, thank you for not calling me the other thing. So... I guess... considering I've pretty much done nothing but ramble on for this video, not really much else we can do, unless you just want to hear me keep rambling on about stuff I remember, and like a lot of the happier memories I have of these people. But if it wasn't obvious, I was getting kind of emotional back there, and I apologize for that. If my dad were here, he would probably crack down on me because I'm a man and men shouldn't be crying and well, he's not here though, thankfully. And as I said, all things considered, he may think whatever he thinks about himself and think he's such hot stuff, but at least in my opinion, I'm more of a man than he'll ever be. I may not be as, like, physically strong as he was. Like, I mean, he was, like, super muscular, and, I mean, he was in the army. Like, I may not have, like, that under my belt, but at the very least, I think my sense of character is a lot stronger than his could ever be. Especially if you consider how he spoke about my mom and how, despite me being literally the only person she had left in her life, the one who was taking care of her when there was nobody else, he basically told me that I should have just up and left her. That never sat well with me. And that was kind of why I just decided, like, yeah, I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. You can say whatever you want about me, but you do not disrespect the one parent I had in my life, who raised me, who helped me become the person I am today, who loved me and knew me better than anyone else, when you don't know jack about me. I wasn't gonna sit there and let him disrespect my mom like that, so that's where that stands, and I have not spoken to him in almost 8 years at this point. Yeah. Anyhow, okay, so next time... Okay, we're not gonna take her out. Well, no, I don't even know if technically... No, I think I'm just gonna make it slightly easier on myself this time. So, I'm gonna say I'll be going away for a while. And, yeah, so I guess next time when I return to record this, the intention will be to record on January 31st. Or, you know, the 6-year anniversary here. Now, as for when these two videos go up, I don't know. But I am going to see about making sure I get them up as soon as I possibly can. When that will be, though, like, I can't guarantee. But I am going to do my damnedest to make sure these videos make it out. Okay. Considering we are talking, like, literally 30 days from now, I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't know, just to keep things on the safe side. Yeah, it's like she's just like, oh no, the piano's right here. Okay, maybe it was the third one, or I don't know. That's a little concerning, Daniel. But if you don't know, then you don't know. It sometimes just can't be helped. I'll be waiting here for you patiently, sweetheart. Try not to keep me waiting for too long, though. Okay, well... Well, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. In addition to trying to improve myself, I mean, I am trying to make sure that all of our projects, October Horizon included, do make it past the finish line. Despite like some of the doubts I've been having recently about my writing abilities, I'm doing my best still. Most importantly though, just because of the meaning that October Horizon has to me, and what I think it could possibly mean for anyone else who may be going through a lot of the struggles that Darlene and I went through, well, I would like to hope that it may resonate with them. It may kind of show that you aren't alone in this. And that first and foremost, that you should be living the life that you want for yourself. Doing what you know will make you happy. As someone who once meant something to me once said, other people's opinions of you does not have to become your reality. For when there are no enemies within, the enemies outside cannot hurt you. In other words, so long as you are confident in yourself and true to who you are, and you aren't letting those inner demons or the depression in your mind take a hold of you and bring you down, then the words and actions of others won't have so much of an impact on you. I kind of dealt with that a lot in my life, and Darlene only told me bits and pieces, but I get the feeling that there was more to it. But it did seem like she did deal with a lot of the same sort of things, which to this day still baffles me, just because I always saw her as this very beautiful girl, and the thought of her ever having a low opinion of herself did not really register with me, but it doesn't really, I guess it doesn't really matter. No matter who you are, depression can still get you, and it can still affect you. Anyway, well, enough of my rambling. Otherwise this is going to turn to like a 40-minute video. But anyway, I hope that you all have a very happy new year, a prosperous view ahead of you, of the future. And thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with whatever else I do. Stay golden and later, folks.